bit of a struggle today, guys, but things are continuing to push.
Yeah, definitely. En child off. Och det kommer att bli the delta on the dash.
Don't have charge.
John.
Hey Lewis, back in Q3 for the first time since Silverstone, nothing to choose between the teammates, between yourself. Does it feel like, I know the result isn't there, but you're making some progress, you're getting the most out of the car?
Yeah, I think this weekend definitely have seen progress, and that was the goal. Better approach overall. Overall, just everything's been more enjoyable. So I've definitely enjoyed it. I think I got most out of the car pretty much every session. I think that last lap when I came out of turn one, I was already a tenth and a half down, and I need to look up into why. I can't remember exactly, but then you're on the back front from then on. But that would have helped. So I think today probably close to P5 would have been potentially possible, but with the wind and everything, it's quite tricky for all of us.
Long old race tomorrow with all those conditions and the fuel in the car. Do you think you'll be in the fight with those around you?
McLaren's are in another league. I think we're obviously quite close to the cars that are around us, so very difficult circuit to overtake. So strategy is going to come into place. Hopefully the rain potentially can throw a bit of a spanner into the mix, and just going to try to maximize.
What we hear this weekend in the GP of the Netherlands 2025 was pure fire. In a circuit where pilots must be perfect, Lewis Hamilton changed their narrative. Instead of frustration we had seen in previous races, their radio message was a ray of hope, and the reason is deeper than you imagine. Lewis Hamilton has been known for his steel mentality, a victory-centered approach that has dominated Formula One throughout his career. However, the 2025 season began with a surprising revelation. Hamilton's change was not only technical, but mental. Throughout his career, Hamilton has been shown as a fierce competitor. But in this new chapter with Ferrari, after 20 years in Mercedes, the transition has not been easy. This change of approach is significant because at the beginning of the season, Hamilton had been visibly annoying, speaking of the need for Ferrari to change the pilot and even his own performance, which he described as useless on certain occasions. However, in Zandvoort, his words were different. The British pilot mentioned that he felt encouraged by the progress that he and his team were doing. This marks a clear contrast with the tense statements of other moments, reflecting how, with the passing of the months and personal reflection during the summer break, Hamilton has managed to adjust his mentality. Beyond the result on the track, this psychological transformation of Hamilton is due to a series of factors. The summer break was not only an opportunity to rest, but also to deeply reflect on his career and his adaptation to a completely different team like Ferrari. During this time, Hamilton admitted that, together with his team leader, Frédéric Vasseur, underestimated the challenge of changing equipment after 2 decades in Mercedes, a well-established structure and with a work philosophy that was completely familiar. This change is not just mental. Throughout the classification, it could be seen how Hamilton adjusted his driving style. The Hamilton we saw in Zandvoort was not the pilot overwhelmed by the difficulties of the car, but someone who, despite the difficulties of SF25, was ready to get the best out of the situation. The ability to adapt and persevere in this context is one of the characteristics that defines it as one of the best pilots in history. This approach change could be key to the rest of the season. If Hamilton can continue adjusting his style and finding a perfect tuning with the team, the expectations for Ferrari in the championship could change radically. What seemed to be a lost season for Scuderia can become an opportunity for redemption if Hamilton continues to evolve and guide the team with this renewed positive mentality. The Zandvoort circuit, with its complicated combination of closed curves and fast sections, demanded the best of the pilots and their machines. Ferrari, like other teams, fought to find a perfect balance in his car, which has had difficulty adapting to different types of paths. Charles Leclerc was the first to point out that Ferrari's difficulties were more evident in rapid curves, something that has been a constant throughout the season. In his evaluation, Leclerc mentioned that the lack of speed in the lines was not only due to aerodynamic problems, but also to the lack of confidence in the tuning of the car. Despite these challenges, what happened in Zandvoort was a clear reflection of Ferrari's efforts to improve. Hamilton, despite the difficulties his car raised, managed to adapt better than in other races. This improvement in performance is not only a matter of car optimization, but also how Hamilton has begun to work more effectively with his team to extract the maximum potential from each session. During the last races, Hamilton's relationship with his career engineer, Riccardo Adami, has shown signs of progress. The collaboration between the two has been a key factor for Hamilton to find the best car configuration, despite the limitations of its car. In addition to the improvement in communication and confidence in the team, this change in the Hamilton approach has also had a positive impact on general morals within Ferrari. After a 2024 season full of strategic errors and technical problems, the atmosphere within the team had become somewhat tense. The expectations of a historical team such as Ferrari are high, and each error seems to be amplified under the fans and the press microscope. However, Hamilton's renewed attitude, which now focuses on his energies on finding solutions and celebrating every small step towards improvement, has brought with him a new hope. Mechanics, engineers, and the rest of the team have felt more optimistic, knowing that if Hamilton can adjust their driving style and adapt to SF25, the car could begin to offer better results in the following races. An important part of this change of mentality is the objective evaluation of problems. Instead of lamenting for what does not work, Hamilton has begun to focus on the advances and areas in which Ferrari has improved since the beginning of the season. This approach not only benefits Hamilton, but also transmits a clear message to the entire team. Trust and teamwork are essential to overcome technical and strategic difficulties. Instead of focusing on weaknesses, priority is now maximizing what SF25 can offer, knowing that there is still much to improve. This approach is also linked to a deep sense of responsibility for your team. Although Ferrari is still a job in progress, Hamilton is determined to push his teammates and team as a whole towards success. In his statements, Hamilton highlighted how important the team's success was for him, highlighting that his mechanics and his engineer deserved better results. This positive and leadership attitude is crucial, not only because it strengthens the morals of the team, but because it also establishes an environment in which each team member feels involved in the process, which can result in a stronger collective performance. In the end, the mentality of a champion is not only a matter of talent, but of how the overcoming process is handled. And Hamilton, after so many years at the top, has shown that he is able to continue evolving, maintaining his hunger for victories, but also his ability to learn from difficult times. This mentality could be the engine that drives Ferrari to finally achieve the success they seek so much, and Hamilton could be the leader who takes him there. The 2025 season has been a turning point for both Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton. Despite the challenges he has faced with the SF25, Hamilton has shown an admirable ability to adapt, learn, and evolve. The change of approach, both in its mentality and in its relationship with the team, has been key to this adaptation process. Although Ferrari is not yet among the most competitive teams, Hamilton's renewed attitude has given hope to both fans and the team, who now sees in the British a true leader who can guide them towards a more promising future. The impact of this transformation goes beyond the immediate results on the track. The mentality that Hamilton has adopted in 2025 could be what promotes Ferrari to overcome their limitations and finally challenge the most dominant teams on the grid. Through his patience, resilience, and ability to learn from his failures, Hamilton has shown that being a champion is not only about winning, but how to face and overcome difficulties. This philosophy can be the catalyst for the renaissance of Ferrari, a team that has fought in recent years, but that with the right direction and the appropriate approach could return to the fight for the title. What is clear is that Hamilton's future with Ferrari will not be defined by what happens in a single race or a single season, but for his ability to build in the long term. The work that has begun this year with a renewed approach could lay the foundations for an era of successes for Maranello's team. With Hamilton leading the project, Ferrari has a real opportunity to recover its place among the strongest teams in Formula One. While there is still a lot of work to be done, Hamilton's change is a sign that, with patience and determination, Ferrari can overcome current obstacles. This is only the beginning of what promises to be an interesting season, full of growth and lessons that could define the future of the team. Do you think this Hamilton approach change will be enough to bring Ferrari to the fight for the championship? What else need to improve the SF25 for the Scuderia to be a serious contender again? Leave us your opinions in the comments, and as always, be sure to subscribe to more analysis and updates on Formula One.